Okay, everybody. Hello, and how are you? It's Kate Richburg. I am not live, but happy Friday to you all. Uh, I'm actually taping this on the 25th, but showing it on Friday, the 26th. Right now, I am, as we speak, driving to Tucson, Arizona to the Gem Shows, but I have this fantastic kit that launched this morning for you that I'm going to talk about, as well as um, some trade beads, some flash sale trade beads that also launched. So I'm going to talk to you about how I put this necklace together. But before I do that, let me just show you the trade beads really quick that launched. By the time that this broadcast airs, we actually launched them at midnight Pacific time. So some may be sold out by now. I don't know. I had some limited quantities. But I just want to go over them with you anyway, so you can see them. And then I'll show you the necklace that I made. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm sorry, since this isn't live, I am not responding to your comments. So you're just going to have to watch and enjoy while I'm doing this. And I will see you live next week from Tucson, where it's beautiful weather with lots of great food. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. Every year, Tucson's always fun. It's always fun. All right, here are some of the strands, and I'm going to show you those. What I don't have here, because I sent every single one to our fulfillment center so it could be sold to you, which are the brass centerpieces that I did on my flash sale earlier this week. Some are the same, some are different. They're all beautiful. Some have really limited counts. Some have a little bit more. I love getting these when my African trader comes through because they're so unique and interesting, right? They're cast brass pieces. I just love them, but I don't have any to show you here. I just have the beads. So you can go to the flash sale, to the Just In. They're both in the same place. They, as I said, they're launched. They're ready for you to grab. So you can always come back and watch the rest of this broadcast and jump over there and do a little shopping if you want to do that. I had to clean my glasses because I'll tell you, I'm wearing the same thing that I wore yesterday, but it's today. I'm catching up though, almost ready to go. Packed a little more in my car, got a few more things done. So now recording this for you. So let's take a look at these beads, shall we? Let me solo this. I have a variety of really great beads for you to choose from this flash sale. And as I said, these are all ready to go. Here are the large Christmas beads. These are just a gorgeous variety of colors. They come on a 22-inch strand. Let me measure these for you. You can see they're about almost 8 millimeters. They vary in height. That's 4.5. This one's a little taller. That red white heart, 6 millimeters. You can see the whole size will probably at least fit a 1.5 millimeter leather in there. These are just delicious. I got them because they had so many of the stripes, and I love the stripe beads, and they're hard to find. So you've got these. Grab these. You can just wear them as is, right? String them up as is, or cut them up and, kind of maybe rearrange them by color or whatever. But these are so, so festive. I just love them. They're delicious. This is our Tides Out. You've seen we've had the Tides Out beads before. We usually sell them in packages of 10. Well, I got a really good buy on these, and I thought that you might like them by the strand. So it's our glass kind of donut-shaped bead. about 3.5 millimeter by about 12.5, a little more than that millimeter. Again, 22 inches in length. And let me show you, I'm just going to put this on. I'm still wearing those pearls, but look at how cool that just looks. I mean, just wear them until you cut them up and use them, right? You don't even have to restring it. It's on kind of that funky raffia stuff, right? That's cotton in here and raffia on the back. But it's kind of cool. I dig it. It's fun. It's not too heavy, but just wear it. Get it and wear it, and then cut it up and use it, right? So that's this. That's the Tides Out. Let's take a look at some of the other recycled glass. So this is the recycled glass here, this Tides Out. These are also recycled glass, what we call our currants beads. I've had these before, but I thought that this colorway, that these looked so good all together. So we're selling these by the strand. Again, usually we sell them by the 5-package bead, but again, I got a nice buy on these, so I thought I'd sell them by the strand to you. They vary in size, 12.5 millimeter by about 14 millimeter or thereabouts. They're all recycled glass. The holes are a little rough, not too rough, but you know, they're not super refined. But a beautiful bead, really gorgeous. The hole will fit probably at least a 2 millimeter leather on all of these. And again, you can get them, restring them like this, stack them, just wear them like this on their original cord, whatever you want to do. But look at how nice this whole collection goes together. I think is gorgeous. Now these final ones that I've got here, you might remember back when I did my my first master class, and I had the necklace that I strung. Let me grab it here. And I used some vintage, whoops, sorry, I'm trying to grab it. I used some vintage carnelian in my piece. I have them here. I'm going to look for these in Tucson, though, but I don't think they exist anymore, really. But I just love them. But Janice looked around, again, couldn't find them, but found these rough cut carnelian in the light carnelian and the dark carnelian, natural stone colors, 18 inches in length. Now, the way that these are drilled, it looks like the hole is giant there. I don't know if you can see that, but they're actually drilled. The drill tip is kind of pointed in a cone shape. So the outside of the hole is real big and the inside of the hole is a lot smaller. Okay, so these are actually just strung temporarily on fishing line, but you could definitely get the 0.019 soft flex through here. You can see it's about a 0.5 millimeter, so it'll sit nicely. This, as I say, it's about an 18-inch strand, give or take, and they're really gorgeous. Again, perfect for mixing into big necklaces like this, doing just a few of these rough cut rondelles in your stringing projects, but I love them. You could just also just string them very simply as a strand around your wrist. So we've got these plus the brass centerpieces that were launched. And then we launched this Path of Petals kit. Now, when I was showing this, when I was on air before and I was showing this to you, I literally designed this in my driveway when my African trader was here. I picked out just a few strands of the beads that I really loved, and I thought, wouldn't it be beautiful just to string a little pathways of beads, a pathway of beads to wear around your neck. So this is how I strung it. You may want to go ahead and take a screenshot of this piece, but nothing could be easier for you to string. And I'm going to show you kind of how I do it. Okay, so let me put this aside. I've got my big bead board here, my nice big board, bead design board that's perfect for this. So when you get this kit, Pathway of Pebbles, you're going to have all these beads in it, plus a yard of cord. And I strung it on 1 millimeter leather cord. Okay, super, super simple. I'm going to show you how I did the closure, the toggle with the bead and the loop. Really easy to do. And then you get this really beautiful pile of African trade beads, new and old. Let's start out with these brass ones. Now the brass beads, this beautiful old Cameroon bicone, this is vintage. And I didn't have these when I strung this necklace in my driveway, because I literally strung this necklace in my driveway. That's how I did it when our trader was here. But I wanted these for it, and he said he had them, but he had to mail them to me. So this is not actually pictured in the finished piece. Again, really a beautiful, beautiful piece. This is from Ghana, Lost Wax Cast, a really beautiful brass bead as well. Both of these are brass. This one, definitely vintage, definitely. These are a little newer. These are newer. The other things in here that are vintage are this beautiful Venetian feather bead. This bead is probably, I don't know, probably at least 50 years old. So gorgeous. You can feel by just the glass how beautiful it is. This one is also vintage. The check glass. Look at this check glass faceted bicone. Where's my, here it is. Let me get my caliper here. This is a big one. This one here, it's about 30 millimeters. This other vintage one, slightly smaller, 29 millimeters. Those are vintage. This also check, but through Africa, about 21 millimeters or so. This one is an older one, this red one. This dotted glass bead, very similar to our medicine man beads that we carry, or our talisman, red talisman, sorry, that we carry here on Bead Shop. It's almost 12 millimeters here. So those, oh, and this one, oh, this is also glass. Check. This one, I think, comes to you through Kenya, I believe, is what our African trader said. It kind of has a smushed, I don't know if it's a better term for it, look to it. The glass is super silky, 15 millimeters by about 14.5 millimeters. And the reason that I wanted to get you a variety of these beads, I just don't have enough. You know, there was enough for a kit, but there wasn't enough for like deep stock in these. But I wanted you to have some. And I thought a kit would be a great way to do it. Here's another, this is faux amber, to look like the old copal amber. This is new. This also comes by way of Kenya. 21 millimeters here, but this is new. This is also Kenyan. This is bone, smoked and carved. Almost 15 millimeters. That there. Then I have some carnelian rounds. Look at these that I found. My buddy had these. These, of course, I think these originated probably in India, is my guess. Maybe the East, Far East, like China. These are fairly new, but they're a large bead. You don't see this quality of carnelian that often. It's a 12 millimeter. It's nice and big. So really pretty. Then we've got some recycled glass. We've got this huge white one that's showing its age, its wear, almost 15 millimeters. We've got that. We've got some of these other little smaller recycled glass right there. We've got these. This is called Never Ending, I think, is this. It's the ebony wood with the silver tone metal in between. It's really beautiful. They're beautiful beads. I gave you 2 of those. These are also getting a little harder to find. 2 Ashanti saucers right there. And then we carried these. You folks loved them, but in this periwinkle color, this feathered long oval. These are all new. This is a reproduction of the French cross bead. And then these barrels, these eye beads or chevron beads. Beautiful. Look at this color. That blue. So prime. And then these, I'm going to use this brown one for the class, but you could use any of these. I'm going to put these 2 in the body of the piece. Okay, like so. So this is what you get. This is your pathway of what I call pathway of pebbles. Okay. And you can decide how you want to lay this out. Let me get my finished necklace. This is the fun part. You can lay it out how I did, and you can just lay it out how you want to do it. You know, whatever works. I wanted some of the large pieces in the center. So this is what I went with. And I'll be honest, I did this fairly quickly. Like I told you, I was in my driveway stringing this because I had to string these beads up right away, right? But I kind of wanted to go with some big beads here, but I also wanted some interesting focals in the back. I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to kind of mix them up. So you can see how my layout is here. The one thing that I'm going to change is I'm going to put I'm going to put this one right there because I want it to show right in the front. I was thinking about putting this one in the front too, but I'm going to keep that one back there with those French cross. I also used the 2 Ashanti saucers together as a stack, like that. Then I just kept building until I liked the looks of it. You want to check this necklace for length as well. You may want to leave a little more room with your leather cord. I have some knots in here. Some of these beads have such large holes that that they just fall right over the knots. So you don't need to really worry about it. But some that have smaller holes, you can put the knots in. That goes there. This one goes over here. Whoops, let me go up just a little bit more so you can see that. That one goes there. That goes at the end. So that's it, really. That's how I laid it out. But you can mix things up, right? If you want maybe both of these larger ones together like that, that's really attractive. Put this darker one maybe over here, maybe this blue one here. I don't know, maybe that over there, right? That differs a little bit. That moves things around just a touch. Maybe I'll put that blue there. I don't know, this over here. Maybe I'd put that over there. I don't know. It's your pathway. Okay, so I want you to create this how you like. But I do want to show you how I started. So here's our leather cording. Okay, this is our 1mm cord here. And what you want to do is we want to test, I want to make sure, because this cord looked a little bit thicker, so I wanted to make sure it worked. What I'm going to do is I want to prep this cord just slightly, and I'm going to angle cut it. Okay, so let me do that. This was the cord that I picked up and just strung it on when, again, in my driveway. But I tested all of these, but let me just test them again. Yep, there you go. See how I did that angle cut? That goes through fine. The other one I'm worried about is this one, but it should go okay. I don't like that answer. Some of you may have a little bit of trouble with this red one. Let me see. Well, if you do have trouble with your red one, like I'm having now, I'm just going to go ahead and wire wrap it. And maybe, you know what I'm going to do? Let me show you 2 ways how to use this, because you can also use this as the button. And I have this one here as the button. So let me show you both ways. I mean, why not? Let's make lemonade out of lemons. And it's not really a lemon. This will be nice with that. You could also go down, I think maybe this leather, friends, is actually 1.5mm is what I gave you, which I actually like better for this piece. If you want to go down a size, if you have leather in your stash and you want to go ahead and string it on a 1mm, you should be able to get this guy on no problem. But I'm going to go ahead and wire wrap this too as the closure. Okay, so we'll do both. So here's this. I almost want to stop this video. This was from, you know what project this was from? Thank goodness when you're watching this, I'm now on the road to Tucson. I don't like to stop and start over. I like it when you see me make these mistakes. Feet of clay. Do you remember this? That's this spare that was just sitting here on my table. So forget about that. I did give you the 1mm. I'm not an idiot. Even though sometimes I play one on the bead shop video. Let's just double check it. I know. This still is a little tight maybe for some of these glass ones, but this one is definitely thinner. Let me go ahead and give it an angle cut and we'll check it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use this one for the end. Okay, you can see this size, whatever this size bead was, had a little bit of a larger hole. So your red glass may have a bigger hole, smaller hole. It's going to be a choose your own adventure. Let me also check. This one has a nice large hole, so we're fine there. Okay, so let me show you how I did the clasp on this with this piece of leather. And all I did was I came through like so, okay? And this is going to be my toggle, like this. Then on this side, what I did was I put my recycled glass, that beautiful currants bead that we have. Now you can do a couple of things here. You could just tie a knot underneath. See how simple that is? Let me zoom in a little bit tighter so you can see this. Now you could also string this. I thought about giving you wax linen and stuff like this, but I like stringing it on the leather, So it just depends. I just gave you a little yard of leather here. You've got plenty to string this up. I'm just going to go ahead and come in I've gone around, come through, give myself a little bit of a tail. And I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot here. Okay. And I'm going to push that knot right up against that bead so it's nice and tight. Okay, like that. Now here's my clasp. My clasp is ready to go. Now on this end, I just left this end and I just tied that little end of the 1 millimeter into a knot, like so. Okay, so now I'm just gonna start stringing, right? So there's that ebony piece. Let me see. This might go. Hang on. Let me just see. The glass beads, you know, especially older ones like this, sometimes they have a really big hole, you know, and sometimes they don't. But let me see how I'm pushing this leather through with my plier. Look. Yes! Thank you very much. Slide it on through. It's a little tight, but it goes, look at that. Bam, done. You're on, little bead. So now what I do is I'm just going to tie an overhand knot here, just for fun. I didn't tie a lot of knots in this, but periodically when I wanted just some knots to show, like that. They don't have to be tight. They don't have to be tied up against the bead. You just want to keep going. And just a few. You don't need a lot. I'm just going to keep stringing wherever you feel like. But all of these, see, these are going to go together right here. These hole sizes are so big. A knot really wouldn't serve me here. This one is super big. I love, love, love this one. Let's do that. Now let's put this one on. I think I'm going to put a knot between these two. Just an overhand, just like that, wherever it lands. Give it some room, okay? Let me do this. And for those of you who really do want to see how this bead, I think I still have one here. I'll wrestle one up and wire wrap it for you so you can see it, okay? Some of these beads are hollow, like that one. That might give me a little bit of sass, but let me see. Look at those. Aren't they great? This brass bead is just, oh, look at that beauty. Let's put this on. Now I'm going to put another knot because these two kind of have a small hole. There and there. There we go. Right? So we've got that knot. We've got that. I'm going to do one more here between. Put this guy on. This. All of these. Maybe another knot right here. I don't want to take these off, so I'm just going to tie it. There we go. You could also, if you wanted to make this longer, you could go stash diving and find some interesting things in your bead stash to add to this. But this type of a necklace, these beads, they're not like super duper heavy, but they're also not really that light, right? So when you have a necklace like this where the beads are heavier, right? You don't want this necklace to drag on your neck and pull your neck down. It's much more comfortable to wear if it hangs kind of just near your collarbones. So let's take a look and see what this length looks like. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to put this around and I'm going to kind of hold it how I might close it off. So you can see you've got a lot of wiggle room here. I might even make it a little bit shorter. And if I were to make it this length, oops, I don't want my beads to fall off. I think I just had one. Yeah. These 3 beads on the back end, I would omit. But I'm just going to go ahead and make this, well, maybe I'll just make this one shorter. Maybe I will, just for fun. So it's a little shorter than the other one. Okay. So let me add this back in. So I'm going to take this knot out because I don't want this knot to be here, but I do want to end on a bead that has a large hole. Okay, so I'll end on this ebony piece right here. Then I could always like wire wrap these other 2 or something, or I don't know, make a little dangle somewhere. I can take a look at that in a second. Or just add those to your bead stash. Or don't put the 2 carnelian in and you've got these beautiful 2 carnelian to use in something else or for earrings or whatever. It's really your adventure. Okay. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to make sure that my cord is going to pass up and back through this ebony bead, and it will. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that down. And what I'm going to do here, and this is how I did this. I came in and I checked the length of this cord. And I made the loop kind of big, like that. It's going to sit. It's not going to come out. Now you could silk wrap this together if you wanted to hold that in place. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put that up just a little bit, is, oh, and actually, oh, I just did a single one there. Let me show you this way. You can just tie the knot on top of that bead, which I like with the tail. But what I'm going to do here instead, I'm going to make this loop a little bit larger. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to tie the knot with that loop. Do you see that? It might be a little, I'm just going to check the size. That knot takes up quite a bit of cord. So I'm going to make that loop a little bit bigger. I think I thought about doing this later, again, after I tied that knot in my driveway. So let me measure. This is about a 2 3/4 inch loop right here. Let me see if I can come in, make that loop, send the loop through the loop, and tighten it closed. Yep. There we go. And this sits really nice there. I'm going to make this about 2.5 inches instead. It's a little long, but this is also where you can come in and add length to your necklace as well. You can make this loop a little bit longer, and that loop would be a little longer. It would sit really nicely. That bead sits very nicely on it, so you're in good shape there. Okay, so I'm here, I come here, and I've closed it up. Okay, now for that wire wrap, let me just show you real quick what I would do. I'm going to show you with this bead. get a piece of wire just to show you. It'll come through like so. I come through, I tighten it up, I pull one wire down, and now I'm going to bring the wire back up over the top to create the loop. You've seen me do this before. It's not that hard. But it makes a nice closure. There we go. For a button type piece. Now this, I'm using 24 gauge because that's just what's sitting here. I would probably use just what would fit. Maybe 22, maybe 20. Get rid of the rest of that. And can you see? There's the piece like that. All right, and that's going to sit. So instead of using this toggle here, I would just use a wire wrap bead here. Okay, makes sense? There's my loop. Let me just tie a little knot here down at the bottom, and then I'm just going to let that dangle off the side. See that there? Done and dusted, right? Beautiful. And let me get you this one. So, my friends, that is it. All right, I have to finish packing for Tucson. I hope you love this kit. I hope you love all of the items that I picked for you in this kind of Tucson kickoff. Sorry about that little mix-up. That's what happens when you don't clean your space. But whatever, I'm not fussed. Have a fantastic weekend, all. Enjoy the kits, enjoy the beads, and I'll see you next week in Tucson. Consult those newsletters for those live sales. As always, appreciate your support, friends. Talk to you soon.